Alright. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing both of these pages. So in the regular deluxe monthly versions for the year of 2019, you don't have this page. So this is part of what I meant that about my planner being Frank's gonna go ahead and show you guys how I set it up. This is gonna be my monthly budget page, and I'll actually be using one of the sticker sheets from the Erin Condren website, which is this really pretty leopard print in black and white. And I'm also gonna be using my labels to fill it out how I normally do it. Like I say in a lot of my setups, I've really been doing the same setup for pretty much the whole year, for the most part the whole year. So not too much is going to change, but I guess I could try to explain like the different sections and why I set up my planner the way I do. You know, like try to explain the different sections, although I feel like most of it is pretty self-explanatory. I don't know, I'm not really the explaining type, but I'm gonna try to be in this video to see if I can help clarify it. But for the most part, I really just like to decorate. I just like to decorate my budget planner. And actually, I'm missing some stuff. I don't know about anybody else, but like filming on the spot, I guess this is why I like doing voiceover so much, because like actually being on camera and trying to film is like it makes me very anxious. It makes me very anxious, and like I feel like I can't really focus, and I know I forget a lot of stuff. I forget to say a lot of things when I'm talking while the camera is rolling, which is why I like to do voiceovers more. And if I could find what I was looking for, here it is. Anyways, these are the budget labels that I'm going to be using for my setup, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut them out. That's what I'm gonna be using now. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. I'm gonna be using, which ones do I want to use? I feel like I should use the gray, this one, and maybe this one. We'll see how these look. But I'm just gonna go ahead and peel these stickers open. So my income section is obviously, you know, where I'm going to write in all my income that I get. Just write down like my paycheck 1, paycheck 2, and if there was a third paycheck, then I would have a business section and an other column. So I just wrote my paychecks in as they came, you know, as I was able to check the website and see what my actual pay was. Then I would write it out for each paycheck. Business was obviously anything that I got incoming from the business, whether it was online or locally. I never write down business income that has not hit my bank account. So if I haven't received it in hand, or it's not like being deposited into my bank account, I don't write it in, because obviously you can't spend something you don't have. So my business income, and then other section is just like maybe money that somebody loaned to you or gave to you, or I don't know if you took out a loan, technically that is income. But I just write all of that here. And then I take my sticker sheets and I use the little thin strips, at least one of them, to separate those columns. For the time being, I'm not gonna write it in yet, because between now and January, when I have to actually use this setup, a lot of things can change. So I'm not about to write anything in stone. I just wanted to go ahead and get this setup series out of the way so that I can be working on other stuff and, you know, giving my full attention to that. I'm gonna peel that off. I'm gonna peel that off like so, and I'm gonna stick that back down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and write business. If I get any more money, I'll just write it up here. So business and other, then paycheck 1, paycheck 2, paycheck 3 if that happens. So yeah, my next section is going to be expenses. Because I actually use this column to write down all of my bills, I don't put them under the expenses section. Let me get this sticker off right here. Generally, expenses for me is just bills and sinking funds, because it's all about what comes out of my bank account, and that's basically all that comes out of my bank account, besides, you know, what I budget or use for my cash envelopes. So let's see. So like I said, expenses are normally bills and sinking fund. It's just a total of all of my bills. And where's my ruler? How I set this up is I use like these little labels to kind of separate all the columns that I use. So there's a total of 4 different columns that I use. And bills, I'm sinking funds, so it's normally right here. And I just kind of stick them on to help me guide the overall look of my budget planner, or this budget page or whatever. And I'll use, do I want to use this one? I'll use this one. So I have a budget column, a mid-month check-in, an actual column, and a difference column. And how I use these columns is basically how it sounds. For the budgeted column, since I usually only write down, I usually write out my budget before I actually start getting paid. So usually when I do my budget, it's based off of an estimation, you know, like an average of what I get from my paychecks. I just write out like an estimated budget from there. So say if like I normally expect to take home like $3,500 a month. I would write out my budgeted column according to, you know, totaling out the $3,500. I'd kind of separate out my sections like so, and I'll use maybe we should do gray. We'll do gray. But normally for my expenses, all I do is bills and sinking funds. Then I'll total that up. I kind of gave a glimpse on how I use this page in this planner when I showed the setup for it. And you kind of got an idea of how I use it. Let me see if I can. There you go. So I don't actually do the budget mid-month and actual for my income, since I said I write it in as I come in. But for the rest of this is generally how I do it. So say if I got, what is that? $3,100 a month. These are not my real numbers, by the way. But say if I got $3,100 a month. So I would just estimate out the rest of my budget according to what I expect to take home that month. So I would calculate all my expenses. Like I said, I have this page, this column section here where I like to write all my bills. So, you know, when I have all the numbers for my bills, I just add all that up and I write in the budgeted amount, which is technically the real amount for what I expect to pay. And then my sinking funds, that is just an estimation of what I would like to put into my sinking funds for that month. Then as shown here, I would just total all that up. Then I'd split these two sections in half. Here I did that, but for the first column I normally don't. I just write in like the total for that month. So I just add my bills and my sinking funds and I write that total. Then when we get down to savings, you know, I write down all my categories. I write down what I estimate to save in each category, and that's when I split it up. So when I split it up here, what I write is all of this added up. I just add up this whole section, and that is the top of the line. And then whatever this number is plus the total from the previous section is what I write under there. And then I just kind of repeat that process for the budget section as well. And then at the end is my total estimation for the month. I generally don't use all of my money. I just kind of do it for a rough estimate. The mid-month is where I actually get more accurate, obviously because I have some of my income in. But yeah, that's how I do that. And speaking of income, we can go ahead and fill that in. I'm just going to use my 451 Tombow dual brush marker again to go ahead and highlight all the sections for my savings. Alright, so I don't know where my camera stopped off at, but I went ahead and made my section for the savings, which consists of my emergency fund, my car fund. This is actually different. I have two different accounts when it comes to like my car fund and my business account. This car fund, this section for savings is all online savings accounts. These are all money market accounts that I opened online, but I do have other savings like outside of these. You know, I try to keep money everywhere, because if you've seen my May cash envelope stuffing, that's just important to me. So these are all just one bank, but I do have other avenues. So this car account is basically for saving up for a new car. Even though my car that I have currently is paid for in cash and it runs really good, you know, it's good for me right now. But this fund is just to be saving up, you know, just in case, to have something, whether I need to rent a car, whether I need to just buy a new car outright. I don't want to have to take out a car loan, so let's just not even think about that. Then I have my home account, because I would like to buy a house sometime in my lifetime. My secret B is actually called Secret Bazaar, but it's just like too much for me to write. Basically, it's just a fun play money account, you know, like a splurge, do whatever you want kind of account. I just thought the name was cool. I've had an account like this for years, and you know, I just save up some money. I just keep saving to it. And then when you just have one of those days where you literally just don't feel like being responsible, you don't feel like being an adult and worrying about bills and all that stuff, this is that account. Like, if I wanted to just randomly go skydiving, this is the money I'm gonna use. So I like to keep saving to that account just for those times where you feel like doing something on the spur of the moment. You feel like, you know, being a child again. You know, that's what that money's for. Then I have my business account, which is only for income. I actually have a separate sinking funds account for business where I actively save for my business, but this account is just for money that I would have coming in. And then like the last three sections are just, you know, we're not going to talk about those because that's just who I am. I really do applaud people who get on here being 100% transparent with like all their information or something like stuff like that. You know, that's really good for them. You know, and I know that builds a good relationship for you guys as the viewers, because you know all about them. You feel like you know them, but I really do applaud them. You know, that really takes guts, because I'm not going to be that person. But you know, that's just my personality, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with, you know, people who want to disclose all their personal information, just like it's nothing wrong with people who don't. You know, that's why everybody is an individual. That's why we have variety in this world. And, you know, I guess I'm just saying I don't feel the need to be that way. Anyways, we get down here to budgeting, and I just write out all my categories for budgeting, whether I intend to spend in them on my budgeting column or not. Because when it comes to doing my mid-month and actual check-in, if I've managed to spend in these categories, I want to be able to write it down, because I reevaluate my budgets quite often, and a big part of that is going through and seeing where I spend the most, which is how I really caught on to my eating out habits, because those were just always through the roof. So for budgeting, we always have our gas category. I'm gonna put toll anyway, because like I said, I don't know what's going down in January. Then I also have my grocery budget that I'll have. Personal, which is little trinket things or like hygiene essentials that I need. Sometimes it can be for hair products, but I do have a separate sinking funds for my hair, because I tend to make a lot of my own ingredients and stuff. So I buy a lot of ingredients in bulk. So that can get costly is what I'm trying to say. So my hair has its own sinking funds. Then we have our eating out category. And then we have my business category, and we have donations, and we have miscellaneous spending, and we have unbudgeted. Okay. So yeah. And we'll get a sticker sheet first. We'll get a sticker sheet. And we'll line that up at the bottom. I really love using stickers. This is probably the best thing that I could have ever came across doing. You know, I'm pretty sure people think this is ridiculous. You know, all these people, they gather around, they get these Erin Condren planners, and all they want to do is just stick stickers in them. I don't understand. You know, if you don't understand, you won't understand. That's all I'm gonna say. But I know I love doing this. I love doing this. This is probably the best, you know, hobby craft YouTube community thing I could have ever came across, because it's so therapeutic to me to just sit down and do something responsible in the most childish way. But I think that's, I don't think I missed it when I got gas, toll, grocery, personal eating out, business, donation, miscellaneous, and budgeted. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, just gonna go ahead and mark those lines across. And then I'm going to use the rest of my labels. And I'm just going to go ahead and put those in right there. So I'm actually going to use my gray tumble dual brush marker, which is the N95 color, and I'm just going to go in and write totals in these little sections right here. Total and total. And just go in and add some drop shadows because I love doing them. So, like I stated, in this section is where I normally write my bills. But since it's so early in the year and I'm not exactly sure how my bills are gonna go, I'm actually going to wait until January hits to fill this out because I like for my bills to be in order. You know, I just like to check them all the way down the line. You know, and if something is not checked, you know, then obviously I need to check up on that. But then we're going to move over to this side. So I totally didn't realize that my camera had been zoomed in all this time, so I'll just kind of show you again what this page looks like. This is my monthly budget for the month of January. That's how that's going to look so far. Now we're going to jump into this page. All I'm going to do is set it up. The purpose of this page would be for paycheck to paycheck budgets. I don't generally make my paycheck to paycheck budgets that detailed, honestly. I just write out the bills that needs to be paid within that week and try to figure out if they can be paid within that week. So I don't really need a lot of space to do that, so I just use one page. So that is the purpose of these. I just wanted to add, I don't know, some coolness to it. So I'm gonna look at these and see how I like this. I don't know if these sticker kits are gonna be something that I do every month. I think one of the main reasons I decided to use this was because I actually really did love the way it turned out. And I wanted to use it because originally I was just going to use like all the peacock patterns that Erin Condren was having on her site. I was just going to do that. But I was like, no, I'll try something different. And especially since I had Franken plan this planner, you know, I had so many extra pages, and buying all those sticker sheets from Erin Condren, now that was gonna be quite expensive. And honestly, as much as I draw and decorate in my planner, I actually don't use stickers like that because I can draw in my planner. You know, it's actually really cheap for me to do it that way, and at the same time I really get to like express myself. You know how art is a form of expression, and I love that. I love looking through. I think it was in my April budget setup where I said that I generally do tend to keep my planners. You know, I do, especially if it's something that generates good memories in me. It makes me feel good when I think about it and look back at it. I keep stuff like that. You know, I love to surround myself with stuff that makes me smile. I love to surround myself with happiness. And so if you can kind of see where I'm going with this, tell me if that looks a trip or if I did a good job. So I'm just gonna do that. Should I do it for the bottom? I think I'll just do the top right here. And you know, it was supposed to be like stalagmites and stalactites coming in from the page. And I was really, really anxious to see how this was going to look when I actually put it together. I really wanted to see what this looked like. Or if I was just being crazy. And I feel like, you know, maybe I was being crazy, but it looks cute, doesn't it? And we'll just do like our paycheck to paycheck budgets right here. See, if I was actually if I was actually that comfortable with disclosing my numbers with you all, I would definitely show you guys like how I set this up and how it looks full, because when I do like these setups and stuff, by the end of the month they just look so filled and satisfying. It makes my heart feel good. It makes my heart feel so good. So that's just how I'm gonna set it up. Maybe when January gets closer, you know, and I have a better idea on my bills, I'm pretty sure I still won't disclose any real numbers, but I will come back and show you how I set this page up to get it ready for handling the paycheck to paycheck budgeting and all that stuff. But yeah, that is this camera still on? You guys didn't even see that, did you? Didn't even see that, did you? And you weren't gonna say anything. But yeah, that is what that looks like. You got the little stalactites growing in from the ceiling, and then you have your monthly page that I set up the same way. I know it looks a little bland than normal, but you know, we are in the middle of November, so guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, that little setup, and you guys stay tuned because there's plenty more to come. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks again for stopping by. Bye bye. Hi there, I'm Miss Kraizy, and thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And while you're sticking around, go ahead and check out these other awesome videos just to see what I'm all about. But with that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. Bye bye.